I've come to this area, and I have found lots and lots of enemies that really want me dead. You know anything about RPGs, it's that when something regenerates health, you need to set it on fire. I don't have any fire abilities, though. Suddenly got so cold. You know, something I definitely do. Let's go forever? Fever? Unholy Essence Generator. Level 5s? Requires a companion who can open gateways. Oh, yeah, I never did talk to that guy, huh? Feel like he wants my blood, though. Or did I talk to that guy? Let's go talk to that guy. Let's see. That's 5 ranged attackers. That's good. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Units. You. Grants unholy protection and evasive. Okay, so it does not heal. Let's see what happens when we talk to this guy. You approach vague figures in the din. Maybe den? I don't know. I don't know what a din is. Shambling toward you as you move toward them.
No closer, or it's your heads.
Not heads, not yet. From Queen's Nest we come, to Throne of Corsal we go.
I know of no throne.
It is second death. Flesh is ours, soul is Mortis's.
What is this throne?
Tell me more about this throne and what it has to do with Mortis.
To Throne we go, flesh ours, soul Mortis.
Very well.
Whatever it is you seek, let's hope you find it.
Okay. Oh, there's wood over here. I'll take that. Or when there's a town that's being difficult with you, you need to set it on fire. Or when there's a horde of enemies, you need to set it on fire. Or when in doubt, set it on fire. Sounds about right. As you hesitantly approach the monstrously large pile of bones and flesh, a crazed necromancer halts you.
What is this?
Your eyes scan up to what looks like a massive throne, entirely made of rotting, stinking flesh. Bone protrudes in strange patterns. The entire structure breathes.
Mortis's power wanes. If the goddess of death is dying, and it is our guess that she is, we must act.
You intend to use this to save Mortis, somehow.
No! We intend to end her reign once and for all. An opportunity like this comes once an epoch at best. If you've come to volunteer yourself to the throne, proceed.
My guess is those bodies weren't volunteers?
The necromancer's eyes turn black as smoke. His voice grumbles like a crackling fire.
Their will hardly matters now. Nor does yours, little man.
I come seeking an alliance.
We ride from Ilion to negotiate an alliance between our land and yours.
The goddess of death is not here to negotiate. And well, I don't want truce. I want your death.
Okay. What do you do? Okay, so you're a necromancer, so you have the necromancer ability, so I don't have to worry about anything that you do. I do have to worry about this Spectre, though. Harvey Spectre. Does this go up? Nope, still 25. The start of this music, if you've watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, there's a certain duel in Avatar: The Last Airbender that has some of the best color work in the show, and it's in season 3 or book 3 or whatever. And the start of this music reminds me so much of that scene, because it has that similar string instrument start, and it's just so beautiful. So beautiful. Destroy it to gain powerful benefits, otherwise beware its detonation. Okay, this guy is going to be a problem. I wish... I really don't know what I want to do.
I'll sneak past them. Feel the snake's bite!
For sure, we have to start healing people.
Moving.
On the offensive.
Pretty annoying when they wait, because I'm waiting. Oh, there's a timer. I understand now. One, two, three, four.
Mounting an offensive.
Got a bone to pick with you. You were trying to figure out where you heard that tune before? It sounds pretty similar, doesn't it? It certainly does. Ooh, the double move forward? Let's go. If I wait... Oh, this is apparently survive 3 rounds. I think I could do better than that. I think I have to attack this. Oh, we can wait.
Move out. You're mine.
Fuck-a-foo.
Pressing the enemy. On the offensive. Wear them down.
Okay, big damage. Okay, this has a lot of HP. Glad I'm not going after that. Move right here. Oh, no, we cannot. Not a complete loss, I guess, but it is pretty bad.
I'll sneak past them. Feel my blade bite!
Should have seen how much damage I could do to that. This is really bad. What was I thinking?
Feel the snake's bite!
You're going next. What round is this?
Feel the snake's bite!
Well, I have to believe that somebody will be able to kill you. You're in danger. Everybody else is kind of, sort of okay.
No need to thank me.
So that's how that works. I needed that to hit. I really, really did.
There will be no surrender.
It's a yikes from me, dog.
Holding the line.
Wait, did I? Oh. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna use this opportunity to experiment here. I'm hoping that this guy dying to the poison will take his turn. It's probably not gonna work that way. But we can hope. And you didn't die to that. It took his turn. It took his turn. And I survived 3 rounds. Fuck a what? Necromancers need better scent tech for zombies. Get your strawberry scented zombie today. The necromancer spits blood and a shattered tooth onto the ground and laughs as he catches his breath.
Yield, or I will cut off your head.
Enough! Well done, young fiend. Well done.
What?
You are spectacular, otherworldly. It's been a century since I last met a fighter with your, vigor. You said you seek alliance. Consider it yours, if you help reap the flesh we need for this throne.
I nearly killed you. You're either very forgiving or very crazy.
I'm very both, as are you, which is why an alliance is all the more valuable. but it cannot be struck without flesh sacrifice!
Before you respond, Orion takes you aside.
I can't be the only one who's feeling nervous about this.
The second Woken are trustworthy.
The living have done nothing but double-cross us. They kill, lie, cheat, and steal. The undead are as trustworthy as anyone else, Ori.
Cheating and stealing are my two favorite pastimes, but your point is taken.
Now then, deal?
Okay, so I believe those guys that we talked to, we can use them as the sacrifice. Gotta lead them over. They wanted to be sacrificed anyways. We probably have to lie to them, but... Oh, what's a little lying to undead? What's a little nibbling of the bones? Consider it an alliance.
I'm holding you to your word. If I help you build this monstrosity, that makes us allies.
More than allies. If we free the burdened minds in the forests of the lost, I'd say that makes us... friends.
One thing at a time, Necromancer.
Oh, please. Call me Edgemar. Enemy of the Vale, the Elves, Mortis. Enemy of a great number of things.
I'm Aviana, known around these parts as the Huntress of Tomes.
Truth be told, if you can find willing participants for our ritual, there need be no fighting at all. But I wouldn't recommend it. Everyone should have the pleasure of dying when they least expect it.
Leave the details to me, Edgemar. I'll help build this throne, and in return...
The liberated hordes of Greyleaf do anything you ask.
You like him? He's very simple-minded, I guess, when it comes to what he wants. What is the throne?
You're building a temple of rotting flesh. What I don't understand is why, or how.
Instructing my minions to harvest flesh resulted in them tearing each other to shreds. How children fight for the love of a parent. Their bodies made fine contributions just the same. My incantation to free us from Mortis's control requires only blood sacrifice now. Lots of it.
Where is Mortis?
You mentioned you're trying to free yourself from Mortis. What happened to her?
Oh, it's really weird that I have to click this to like progress it. It's not something that I'm used to.
Better minds have been driven mad, questioning the fickle will of God's young fiend. Know only that Mortis's will is to unite the world in death, but that will wanes.
You don't strike me as picky, but let's assume you were. Where do I find the best sacrifices?
My taste in flesh is hardly discerning, it's true. From the tomb of Tuchulkan to the eastern wastes, I want any, and I want many!
Who are you?
I like to know who I'm working with, Edgemar.
Well, there was a time, over a century ago, when I was an archmage to Demosthenes II. I was among the first to serve the Vale. I killed a man who stood in the way of my rise to power. The Vale posthumously named him a saint, and damned me to cleansing. I chose a different path.
Necromancy.
And why not? The only thing worse than a naked obsession with power is a hidden obsession with power.
Good news.
I just needed to hear you say it. I've already harvested the flesh we need for the throne.
Cray's smile spreads across Edgemar's face.
You said you didn't want to be friends, and yet, look how eager you are to please.
You catch a nervous glance from Orion before Edgemar continues.
Well then, young fiend, present this, the final offering on the throne of Korsal. Let us usher in a new era for the Second-Born together.
Edgemar begins hollering some unknown chant. A dark smoke spills from his lips as he speaks. The incantation has begun. Tower of Darkness. 15 undead hordes. Your adventure continues. As you progress, you will acquire multiple quests like this one. You can track all the quests you have acquired in the quest journal. Reach through the main menu. Quests are separated into 3 categories. Main quests, which are mandatory. Side quests are optional quests. And companion quests, these are optional but very important to each companion. They delve into the personal story of each companion and will unlock powerful abilities and world skills for each. You have acquired your first faction building blueprint. Constructed buildings can be upgraded, but can also be replaced. Any building you replace with another will not be destroyed. Instead, they are phased out, just in case you decide to bring them back later. Phasing buildings in and out requires resources, but is cheaper than construction. Managing your buildings this way ensures your progress is never lost. So go ahead, experiment with various building combinations to build the perfect Yillian. Level up! Dark Mansion Blueprint. Getting lots of stuff here. Lots of stuff. You unload the fetid remains on the massive structure of flesh as Ejimar's incantation grows louder behind you. The flesh begins to boil. Not just that, it writhes. It spasms. The throne almost seems to be coming to life.
I'm not one to make demands, but this seems like a good time to back away.
Did I put the bodies on the thing, though? Agreed.
I thought you'd never ask.
Back away from the structure. From deep within, a wet, pained scream erupts. Was that Mortis? No sooner do you think the question than lightning crashes down onto the structure, blowing you and Orion back. Even Ejimar collapses from its wake.
Abby, look!
Ejimar scrambles close to you, close as you look up to see a dark figure descending from the clouds above.
The lost one. Champion of the Council of Six.
Petulant Ejimar, how dare you invade my domain?
Your domain?
I can explain.
Ours?
And how have you come to keep the company of the Child of Iron and Sky?
Ejimar glances to you with a look somewhere between nervous and thrilled.
We're friends.
Someone please tell me what's actually happening here.
As I knew and loved your parents, I will allow it. Speak your questions.
What is this throne?
Explain what this throne actually is.
The Throne of Korsal is a binding ritual from the epoch of Hoyland Toth. When performed, it is powerful enough to imprison a god itself. That must not happen.
I don't like the way this guy's giving his voice lines. You know, it feels like if you were in a studio or something like that, and someone was like, "Okay, you're this powerful council member to a necromancer, and you know you're evil. I need you to evoke that in your voice." And like, "I am the powerful voice of the necromancer god. You will kneel," or you know, it sounds over the top and a little too much. Why do you stand in the way of your people's freedom?
Ejimar says Mortis's power wanes, and that with this throne, we can free them. They deserve liberation, not servitude.
As their unholy mother deserves subservience for granting them a second chance at life. Do not judge what you cannot comprehend.
Who are you?
Ejimar gave me the impression these were his lands, so I assume you're an invader.
The forests of the lost are mine. I am the eternal champion of the Council of the Six. We are the ancient heirs to Mortis's will. Through us, her power multiplies across the lands. Ejimar is a pest.
Where is Mortis?
Mortis's power wanes. Ejimar said so himself, and frankly, something isn't right in Greyleaf. The hordes are scattered, disorganized, isolated.
These lands are mine to reign over. You dare question me?
I've heard enough.
Enough of this. We rode here seeking some sort of bond between our people and yours. Instead,
You aided this insolent cur. However, you have wrought death on the invaders of Greyleaf while I was blinded by Ejimar's illusions. For that, you have the gratitude of the Council. I will render your death painlessly and with mercy.
I don't think we can fight this guy. Let's run away.
Ejimar, Ori, there's no way we can face this thing. Run!
Finally.
You leap onto your horses and gallop away, hearing the splattering of hoof on rotted flesh as you go. When the splattering quiets, you look down to see you are being lifted into the air by some unknown magic. One by one, your party drops to the ground, dead. Then you feel yourself plummet. You reach for Orion, who still hovers above you. We're dead? The last thing you see is him desperately reaching for your hand, then nothing. We're dead. You wake in the realm between realms. You remember your mother telling you of such places, where the body cannot go and the spirit cannot escape.
Hello? Anyone?
Through the twisting darkness, Ejimar emerges.
You're here. Where's Orion?
Dead, most likely. But then, so are we.
What happened?
We were fighting. The Lost One descended. I can't remember what happened next.
Because it happened after we died. Instead of giving us a second waking, the Council must have trapped our souls here as punishment.
Where are we?
What is this place?
The Hall of Souls. A prison for any who stand against Mortis. Or, to be more specific, this is one of many stones used to build the Great Hall. Each stone in the Hall of Souls is its own prison world. A hollow form filled with suffering souls.
How long are we imprisoned here?
There must be some way to earn our freedom.
None who are imprisoned in the stones of the Hall of Souls ever leave. The torture is eternal. I'd say it's best we make ourselves comfortable and learn to enjoy the existential anguish.
You know, you like this guy a lot? He puts the fancy in necrofancy. What is this game? This is a game where you run around as a level 2 and you find level 20 enemies and you're like, what the heck?
So long as I have the will to fight, I'm fighting. Are you coming?
We'll have the rest of eternity to sulk. It can wait.
Good. Let's find Orion.
Council of Six descends. Oh, that's the quest. New unit. Ejimar has followed his lust for power. Looking first to the High Father, he was left wanting. So his twisted mind turned toward the unbound strength of Mortis. The terrible magic she gifted him took his sanity as payment. But even now, his lust for power remains unsated. Look at that. He has the raised dead ability. Holy damage, unholy damage, crit chance. That's physical damage. Wait. Okay, that's a line. This does physical damage though? Oh, you don't do I'll give you crit chance, I guess. I look forward to using this ability. He's also level 5. Oh, I'm level 5. Oh. Nice. Okay, let's grab that. Not friendly with anybody yet. Don't really want anything to do with unspent AP right now because a lot of my AP is getting landed. We'll go for HP now. Apparently we got some new equipment. I don't know what this must be some sort of bug. The only thing I can think of. Okay. Spellbook. Let's see. Shifts surrounding allies between the planes. Grants incorporeal. Ooh. Ooh. Seems pretty good. We don't really do divine damage. Life Bane. Abuse allies attacks with ability to poison. Inflicts poison when attacking a beast, dragon, human, giant, or an elf. Okay. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Openwolf and Encounter. What's up, Volpenwolf?
You're exquisitely fresh now, aren't you? I can still smell the sweet scent of life upon your souls.
One does not face retribution from the Lost One without becoming very dead in the process.
Unlike a necromancer, a scent does not lie. Your soul is here, yes, but the body holds fast. I'm sure of it.
Oh my gosh. Help us leave.
You say you can still smell that our bodies live. If that's the case, we have to find a way out of here. Help us.
My freedom is a hope I've long since lost. But yours? Yes. So long as your bodies cling to life, we may reunite them with your souls. But time is of the essence.
Thank you. Truly.
New unit! Alright. Rapidly attack enemies, dealing physical damage. If a target dies, the wolf is refunded a red AP. Ooh, you got a gold and a red AP. Nice. Things claws into target, dealing physical damage, inflicts taunt. Grants regen. This is regen. Gonna be disgusting. Grants physical might and an improved critical to allies who are using claws to attack. Sharp claws last until the end of battle. We don't really have anybody with claws right now. Alright, Volpenwolf. Move you back. Oh, what are you doing? The romance option. Yeah, it was it was quite a bit, wasn't it? Ready. You're dying, dude. That's it. Your sides have split. I was kind of tempted to choose it, but I know better.
Let's move.
Guess we're just taking AoE damage and nothing we can do about it.
You're mine!
Oh, I will enjoy this.
Oh.
Bones are for crushing.
Wasn't expecting this to create like a field. It's like they're taking damage every time they walk through it. Maybe I should actually read these things. We are just gonna back off then.
Quickly.
Will you just...
Oh, this guy. This guy is pretty cool. I did not want to wait.
You will serve me in time.
Oh, I was like, what was that noise?
Will you just...
Does this bleeding last forever? Just inflicts bleeding. Bleeding is removed when the unit is healed at least 20% of its HP. Whoa, bleeding. Whoa.
Quickly. I am Aviana.
I need this guy to be tanking more.
I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going.
Face your death.
This should be fun. Die! Die! Die!
No, you were going to die, and now you're not. You'd have to. For the science and curiosity, you have no choice. I guess, Dante. If that's how it's gotta be. If science truly rules all. And I guess that's just how it's gonna have to be.
Let's move. Stand down.
Okay, so we're gonna want to move here.
Death is close.
Oh my gosh, he has 2 yellows? Oh my gosh. Oh, Ray's dead. I got the Ray's dead. I forgot about that ability, but I need to not forget about that ability. The wolf is coming for your blood. I didn't want to do that. Oh, no, 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 no.
You will serve me in time.
guy is great. You know what, Dante? You're right. This guy is great. Let's have you move right here.
You're mine!
We might as well use this.
Face your death.
Send them into a frenzy.
Bones are for crushing.
Bones are for crushing. Voice actor is great. The character is great. Your opinion is all facts, no printer. Oh boy. Dante's at it again. Cannot flee until we've dealt with all the guards. Young Fiend. I didn't mark at 4 hours, but you know, we're gonna worry about that later. Alright, we're moving you closer. Like so. You can stay back there since you have the range. Oh, the Banshee's in the back line. What do Banshees do? Let's see. Hitting enemies in a cone, dealing damage and inflicting confuse. Rips away the enemy, the voice of the enemy, doing damage in silence. Incorporeal. Protects the ally with the lowest percentage of HP. Grants incorporeal, resilient, and quick to the target. Banshee's Veil won't affect a target who already has incorporeal, resilience, and quick. Wow. Banshees are pretty solid. Pretty solid. And then Spectres in the back line, they do damage and demoralize. Rawr, 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 rawr.
Let's move.
Okay. Ooh, that is going to do damage to my allies. Something that I wanted to know. Now, that is good to know.
Oh, I will enjoy this. Will you just...
Oh my gosh. Really don't want to get confused.
Stand down. Ha!
I wonder if that regen stacks. Doesn't look like it does.
Moving.
Lot of damage.
Death is close.
One's not going so hot for me.
Death, rebirth, and death again.
Goodbye, werewolf guy. You were fantastic. Now you're dead.
Let's move. Stand down.
Will you just stop? Bones are for crushing.
Looks like we're losing this battle. I played it pretty poorly.
Die.
There's a couple of things that I want to test out. I'm hoping I'll get the opportunity to do so. And so that question is no. I will not. Well, we tried, everybody. We tried. We tried so much. Now we retry. Alright, we won't go so hard on the paint. Let them come to us. One, 2, 3, 4. So you'd have to get confused first. Maybe I should have waited with him. No.
Moving.
Take that. Okay.
Let's move. That's better. Ow!
The question is, do I bone spikes twice here, or do I move and bone spikes once? I think bone spikes twice.
And death again. Die! Die! Die!
Die, landlubber. Nice, a miss. Double miss. Let's see, okay. You won't be able to go.
Stand down.
Heal yourself. Alright, this is where the science comes in. Alright, so I had the plan. I wanted to see if I killed this guy with a necromancer, if that would create the what is this? The specter and prevent it from resurrecting, but unfortunately,
Stand down.
it was not possible.
Moving.
He's dead. Oh, you're going after him.
Death, rebirth, and death again.
Hey, goodbye, you. I don't know if this werewolf is actually that good.
Die! 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 Bones are for crushing. Death is no death. Rebirth.
Want to see what happens though at the end of this? See if Home Chick Slice is dead forever. Assuming we actually live long enough for that. It does not appear that we will be. What are we at? 1 HP? Yep. No! Science! Seems to me like he made a better romancer than fighter. You may just be right about that one, Dante. One, two, three, four, so... yeah, there's really nothing I can do. This guy is... not as good as he seems.
Quickly.
Okay. I will wait. Really like to use this not on just 2 targets.
Bones are for crushing. Will you just...
Moving.
Oh, what? Why would... no! Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?
Stand down.
Bones are for crushing.
Death again. Die!
Let's see. What's rough here is I need to move so that this guy doesn't get 2 attacks on me. So maybe a taunt and a move over here.
Death, rebirth, and death again.
Oh, we're dropping some frames. We're still dropping frames. How many can we drop? All right, 1,600. Oh my gosh, you just get to go immediately. Sucker food.
Death is close.
Once again, this is not going well for me.
No need to thank me. quickly.
How am I gonna do this fight? How do I get out of this alive? Oh my gosh, the mess.
Let's move. No need to thank me.
That's not where I thought you would go, and now that I see you moving there, you see the error of my ways.
Death, rebirth, and death again.
Right, so you got your AP back. Oh, I goofed again. Should have moved right here to stop the flanking. Oh, she's dead anyways, doesn't matter. This evasion is kicking my butt. Oh, and now you're dead.
Bones are for crushing. This should be fun.
Oh my gosh. I can't, because I'm not in range.
Oh, I will enjoy this. Die! Die! Die!
Miss of the century. Oh, doesn't matter. Okay. How am I gonna figure out this this battle? It's not even a tough battle as far as like enemies that are here. It's just tough. With what I'm dealing with. Maybe I can bait them to go towards me. Nope.
Let's move.
This dog is barking at something.
I'm Aviana of Ilion.
Oh my gosh. Ah, the invasion is so grr. Very least, let's apply bleed on everybody. Oof.
Death, rebirth, and death again.
That's probably the better
Will you
option.
just...
Alright, werewolf is dying. Maybe Home Chick Slice is dying.
No need to thank me. Move out.
Death, rebirth, and death again. Death.
Now, maybe if the evasion wasn't in this fight, it wouldn't be so bad. This fight is pretty rough.
I am Aviana of Ilion.
We would have to move here. Actually, no, we can move here.
Oh, I will enjoy this. Die! Die! Die!
No, I didn't get the Spectre. Ugh. Giga. Ugh.
Let's move. Stand down.
Death, rebirth, and death again.
Jesus. Alright, he's gonna die right here. My goodness. My goodness. I don't know how I'm gonna beat this one. I just don't know. Not bleeding, so I can't just run around and do all that.
Quickly. Stand down.
He'll resurrect after I kill him.
Stand down. Aviana of Ilion. Move out. Villano. Move out. Done.
Okay.
Move out.
See if I can force you to get in here. Oh, I did not want to wait. I did not want to wait. That doesn't matter. We would have died anyways. Well, Bill, am I running? Yeah, I just started, so I don't have much to go off of here. Why don't we try a different side first? Try a different side. I guess I should mark.